I am genuinely so shocked and surprised that it's taken me this long to make a video on this topic, because if there's one aspect of myself that I've sort of grown and developed the most in, it's definitely this. My self-confidence, beating my social anxiety, you know, and that all started with taking myself on solo dates. So if you're currently watching this as a socially anxious girly who cowers at the thought of going to a restaurant or even a cafe by herself, then let me help you change that. And trust me, I used to be you. I used to be in that position where even the thought of having to get a train by myself made me have like a ball of anxiety in my stomach. Like when I was going to university for my interviews, like when I was like 18, getting trains for the first time was so terrifying to me. And now there's literally a video on my channel of me going to the Midland in Manchester, no less, and spending an overnight there and taking myself out for a nice dinner. This is how far we've come. And that vlog should really show you just like how qualified I am to talk about this topic and to help to educate you all. So if you've never seen my face before, hello, I'm Anna. Welcome to Anna is Random, which is kind of my just safe space for women, really. We talk about all sorts of stuff over here, self-confidence advice like today's video, mental health advice, but then we also talk about the fashion and makeup side of things. Like, we keep it fun. And I also do vlogs of certain things like the Manchester vlog I was just talking about, and I would love to have you in this community and on this channel. So if you find this video helpful and you like my vibe, then make sure to subscribe. But anyway, let's get into this, because as I say, this is a topic that I've wanted to talk about for so long and I have a lot to say, so let's just get right into this. So if you're there, socially anxious, terrified of the thought of taking yourself out for your first solo date, I am gonna help you do that, okay? And the first thing you need to do is focus on your mindset, okay? Like many things in life, mindset is everything. And you have to remember, with things like this, at least when I was in this position, baby steps in the beginning to, you know, get you to where you want to be. And when it comes to mindset, sometimes, especially if you're doing this for the first time, faking it till you make it is the way to go. Because I know from experience, trying to think about like going to a restaurant by yourself for the first time can be incredibly overwhelming. So the best way to kind of start to help you on that journey, I would say, is start with your appearance. Start with your outfit and your makeup. You know how we say like the best part of a night out is the getting ready versus the actual night out? Like, this is so true in this case. So put on some good music, you know, get it. If you haven't already got like a confidence playlist going, this is a great time to start that. Get a cute outfit ready, you know, have a look on Pinterest for some inspiration, and the same with your makeup, you know, have fun with it. If it makes you feel better to kind of think that you're creating like an alter ego that would be able to easily go out by themselves, then this is the time to really start trying to do that. Because if you're confident that you look your best, things will get so much easier. Now let me tell you a little bit of a story about the first time that I went out on a solo date, okay? Just to put some things into perspective. So, back when I was at uni, okay? Take our minds back to December of 2019. I just turned 19, I was incredibly insecure and socially anxious, and I put myself up for this challenge of being more okay with my independence kind of in public, and I took myself out to Spoons in Bolton because that's where I went to uni, and I wanted to try their new Christmas burger. I was not vegan at this time, so I was going out to try that because I'd seen it on the menu and thought it looked cool. So there I was, you know, I made myself up the best way that I could. I mean, I'm gonna put the Snapchats up on the screen from that time. I don't really use that app anymore, and I'm gonna make a video all about how you can dress better and how that's really gonna help you improve your confidence, because Lord knows I needed some help back then. I mean, and I remember so distinctly, I walked in, and I don't know if any of you have ever been to the Bolton Spoons, but like most Spoons, especially in the north, are the same, right? And you walk in and there's a lot of tables like near the bar area, and it was very busy. I think it was like a Sunday night or a Saturday night or something like that, and it was really, really busy. And even though I'd kind of hyped myself up for this and being like, you're going to be okay, you're just gonna find a corner and you're just gonna do it, even though I'd like hyped myself up in my head, I walked in, I got really overwhelmed, And you know what I did? I hid in the toilets for like 20 minutes trying to calm myself down, like give myself like a silent pep talk, like it was bless me, honestly, bless me. But hey, you know, if you need to do that, because as I say, this is quite an overwhelming experience, it can be if you're doing this for the first time. So if you need to go and hide in the toilets for a bit and calm yourself down and just kind of recenter your nervous system and try and remind yourself as to why you're doing this, you know, if you need a bit of a timeout, you're perfectly entitled to that. But after those 20 minutes, you know, I got up, I went downstairs, because as we all know, Spoon's toilets are always upstairs. So I went downstairs and I hid myself in a corner. I found like a little sort of hidden booth thing, like one of the tables in like a booth, so it was a nice sort of comfy sort of sofa against a wall, you know how they are. And I sat there and I enjoyed my food. And as I say, it's not gonna be easy the first time that you do this. As I've said, you know, if you need that time out just to kind of re-hype yourself up, do whatever you need to do. But I will promise you now, after that first time, it gets so much easier. And each time you go out after that first time gets so much more empowering than the last. And that is like the one way that you are going to get better at this and build up your confidence, is through practice. Once you do this for the first time and confirm to yourself that the world did not implode because you took yourself out to eat for the first time by yourself, you know, once that's confirmed in your mind, your brain just starts to rewire its perceptions of going out by yourself. And as I say, it gets so much easier because you deserve to do more with your life and not rely on other people to make plans. Like, you deserve to live your life as fully as you possibly can. And a lot of the time, the best way you can do that is in your own company. So that was kind of the first time that I took myself out for the first time. The second time was like the first time I'd taken myself out for like more of a day out by myself. I went to the People's History Museum in Salford in Manchester, which was a recommendation from my tutors at the time because it was based on like some of the work that I was doing. If you don't know what it is, it's basically like politics museums, which if you guys don't know, I do have a big interest in politics. I do have a podcast channel called Playing in Politics where I do my makeup and talk about what's going on in the world. And they have a lot of like old campaign posters and it was to do with the work that I was doing, but I made a day of it. Like, I went to that museum, I'm pretty sure I can't really remember where I went to eat. To be fair, I probably got Mackey's at that point in my life, but I went there, which was really cool, and I went to Mackey's, and I'm pretty sure I went to the Arndale and went around there by myself. It was just nice to finally be able to feel like I could do things by myself, and that's when I really started to enjoy it. And then after that, I mean, if you've been on my channel for any length of time, you know that I love Manchester. So after I did that for the first time, I just slowly became quite addicted to going to Manchester. And as young women, you know, we have so many opportunities around us to do things by ourselves and explore. Whether you're at uni or you live in the city, like you're living by yourself for the first time, like in a big city, that is the perfect opportunity to take yourself out. Have a Google, look on social media, you know, cute places to eat, find art exhibitions, things like that. There are loads of resources out there where you can plan a day. Whatever way kind of feels best for you and feels like it's going to be the thing you're going to be most comfortable doing by yourself, especially if it's that first time, go for it. Once you've started to do the small little days out as well, then you can move on to the next stage, which, as I mentioned before, is taking yourself to a hotel overnight and doing an evening activity by yourself. Now, I know you gotta stay safe, ladies, if you're doing things in the evening, especially if you're by yourself. We live in a world where we've got to look out for ourselves, haven't we? But honestly, I would go and watch that vlog of me in the Midland because I was living my best life. And just to give you an outline of something that you can do if you're planning that kind of date, especially if you're a creative girly. I mean, we all love to do things for the gram, don't we? So, you know, plan Instagram shoots. If you don't follow me on my Instagram already, I am quite quite the fan of a photo shoot, so you can go over there just to find inspiration of like styles of things that you can do and poses and colours of lighting and stuff. I have all sorts of stuff over there. But really just make it fun, and I think that's one point I need to stress is this should be fun. And if you're, again, socially anxious and you're thinking, yeah, but I've got to like talk to people at the reception and like that's really overwhelming. I have a stammer, so I get it. And that, like, back when I was like 18 and really struggling with my social anxiety, that's the one thing my brain would always fixate on, was because I do struggle more in front of strangers. But trust me, with hotel reservations, I have never personally had a bad experience with the reception staff. They've always been really lovely to me, especially if it's like a really nice hotel. You tend to get like really nice treatment because it's part of like the customer service package you're gonna get with the hotel. Plus, they do only tend to ask for like your surname as well, like when they're trying to like check in the booking, and then they'll often have your first name there. So like, just for instance, if you struggle with saying your name like I do, because as I say, I do have a stammer, I do tend to find it easier to say my surname, which has alleviated a lot of pressure and anxiety for me. So as long as you know kind of what they're going to say to you, as I say, you just walk up, say hello, you give them your surname, and then they'll be able to find it on the system. You go, yeah, just smile all the way through and you'll be absolutely fine. And from there, you can do whatever you want. You know, you don't necessarily have to talk to people if you don't want to. You have that ability to maintain that sense of control when you're doing these things as well, which is really empowering and can also put you at ease. And honestly, the first time that I booked a hotel by myself and did that, which wasn't even the Midland, like I went to London, which again, I do actually have a vlog for, you know, I vlog all these things. So to say, join the club, click subscribe. But I mean, to be fair, I would say my trip to London was like the first time I properly went to London by myself back in the summer of 2022 was the most empowering thing I have ever done for myself. And that was the second time I'd been to London kind of by myself, and now I've been 4 times in total. Once you start to get in the swing of taking yourself out for dates and doing the scary stuff, honestly, you feel unstoppable. As I say, it is baby steps getting there, you know, do the small things first, but as I've kept saying throughout this, every time you do something and succeed and feel good about yourself, doing the bigger things feels so much less overwhelming and life just gets so much easier. I really want to do more solo dates, especially like solo trips in hotels by myself and stuff in 2025, so make sure to stick around for that. So I guess kind of my conclusion and my sort of homework for you all is to plan that first solo date. Whether you want to start small with just going to like your local cafe or a restaurant by yourself like for lunch, just do it in the daytime, nice and easy. Or if you want to go to level 2, as I say, and book yourself like a little overnight stay somewhere, as long as you have a clear plan and you plan the day out so you know exactly what you're doing and you're not going to be like lost at any point, that is probably my best piece of advice I could give. That's your homework. Plan your first solo date. Get clear, get on Google, get on Pinterest, look up your outfit inspiration and your makeup, look up kind of like what the best spots are. Even maybe get down to like, if you're going to eat somewhere, like look at their menu and half decide beforehand what you're gonna have. Whatever you need to do to make the experience more approachable for yourself, the easier it's gonna be. And when you start to date yourself, so many other areas of your life becomes so much easier to handle, especially your dating life, like your actual dating life with other people involved, because if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? RuPaul, can I get an amen up in here? But in all seriousness, your standards are gonna be raised. If you start to treat yourself the way that you deserve and the way you know you deserve to be treated, you're not gonna tolerate anything other than that from other people. So this is your sign to start today. As I say, I've given you homework. I will know if you've done it. And please let me know what you plan on doing in the comments so we can all cheer each other on. I wish you all the best of luck on that first solo date, and also just on your solo dating journey in general and your confidence journey. And I am here for you every step of the way. As I say, this is what we're all about on this channel. So if you enjoyed this video, which I hope you did, make sure to leave this a like and subscribe so you don't miss out that on any more of my videos. Also, make sure to follow me on all my social media, including my Instagram. Very important, my Instagram. I always stress this. My Instagram is the best place to go for inspiration, especially on this topic. And as I say, like the photo shoots thing, if that's something you want to incorporate into your solo dates, especially if you're going to like a city or a hotel, then I have a lot of inspiration over on my Instagram for both of those. And there's gonna be more to come this year, as I say, as I take myself out for more solo dates. So yeah, just make sure to follow me on all my social media, the names for which will be, as always, at the end of this video. Will you believe my camera died just as I was doing my outro? What a disgrace. And all I really had to say was I will see you guys in the next one. But as I say, leave your solo date plans in the comments. Let's empower each other. And as I say, I will see you guys in the next one. Wishing you all the best of luck. So happy to have you here.